Right? 30 things in 30 days.
I'm here with Honorable Mark Vanterpool at the cruise ship pier, the development of the cruise ship pier and the landside development. Honorable Mark, I know that this development was dear to your heart. I know it was something that you wanted badly for the country. Explain to me, what does this development do for the tourist industry and the economic stability of the country?
Well, you know, if you want to be and remain in the cruise ship business, it's a competitive business. Almost every Caribbean island want to be in the cruise ship business.
Right.
So if you are going to be in it, you have to provide amenities and the docks and so on that the cruise ships want to have. And they indicated to us that we were on the edge or the brink of them losing interest in coming to the BVI. That was told to us in 2012, February. So we moved very quickly to try to improve our dock. That's the most important thing, to make sure that the ships could come in, and especially the bigger ships, because the smaller ships are gradually phasing out. And so we moved quickly to get the dock improved, which we have. We are pleased to announce that. And then on the land side of the development, the cruise companies are very keen on knowing what you call the sense of arrival. When the passengers come and they're on top of the deck and they're looking out of the deck, they want to make sure that they see something that's pleasing. And then when they get off the ship, that they can go into amenities and then go to different places in the country, that they can say, look back and say they enjoy the destination. And that's very important, so that they can come back next time, or the cruise companies can get them to book with them another time. So we moved quickly to not just improve the dock, but we have improved the land side, because prior to what we did, it was a bunch of old tents, old trailers sitting around on the dock, and the old buses, old vehicles. We first cleaned it up.
Right.
We gradually, rather than chasing away the vendors, we built more spaces for them at Craft Alive, and then we started building the land side as you see us building now. And when that's finished, it's going to be beautiful. As you can see, we finished one part of it, but we're doing the balance of it.
So, Honorable Mark, I know that with every good or bad thing that happens in a country, there is always positive and negative criticism associated with it. Explain to me what this development does, not just for the, not solely for the country, but for the people. Because I know they would normally say, oh, money was wasted, or money was this, or money was that. But explain to me, what does the people get from such a development as this?
Two very important things. One, when the cruise ship passengers come in, we want to make sure that on every head, every person that comes to the territory, that we can collect at least a tax, what we call a head tax.
Right.
And prior to this, in the winter we were collecting $7, and in the summer we were collecting $2 on the passengers, or $3 I think it was. Now that we have done this dock and the passengers are very pleased what we're doing on the land side, since the 1st of May this month, we are now collecting $15 per passenger.
Wow.
So that means that, let's say, just using rounded numbers, that you get 1 million passengers a year that we are moving towards in the next 2-3 years. If you get 1 million passengers a year, you're collecting $15 million for the country. In other words, in some way or another, that money is going to trickle down to scholarships for schools, helping the government to build roads, helping to improve different things, because that's what it means, that you're going to, without any doubt, first of all, collect $15 per head. And then the cruise ship companies, in their studies that they do, work out what kind of numbers it costs, or what kind of numbers the passengers spend.
Right.
In the BVI, before we did all this, they were spending about $50 per passenger on the island. Whether it's a taxi, whether it's buying a little gift in a shop and so on. The average spend in the BVI was $50. Right. When we have finished this project, we expect that the average spend will be at least $100 per passenger. Now, you multiply $1 million passengers by $100, that's $100 million. That's the kind of spend that we expect that the cruise ship passengers will have in the BVI when we get up to that million passenger level. Let's say we get up to 500,000, which is already there. We already have 500,000.
Right.
Therefore, we will be getting the cruise ship passengers to spend 100 million would be the case if it's million people.
Right.
So that means 50 million would be the case if it's
Half a million.
half a million people. So we expect right away that we'll be collecting $500,000 in the economy in terms of shops, taxi men, vendors, drinks, whatever you use, whatever you do. The average spend is going to be $100 per passenger. So if you get 500,000 passengers a year, that's $50 million being spent in the economy.
Nice.
Okay, so
Nice.
this is important. So $50 million plus $15 million for the head tax, you have at least $65 million now. When we get it all up to speed, we will have at least $115 million spent from cruise ship passengers. That's important in a small economy like ours, and we want to make sure we get up to that level.
Another question I want to ask. I know, I've been hearing from the media and other sources that local people that live here can invest in the cruise ship here, in the landside development, can come in and bring their shops in and set up and all those stuff if they get space available for them. Please elaborate on that for me and let the audience know exactly how they can come about being a part of this landside development.
Well, two things. One, when you, in other words, 30,000 people live in the territory, but if you look at it from the point of view of you building a house or buying real estate in town or building, everybody can do that. So if you have a development like this, where you can take your little money off your savings, where you're getting probably 1% now, and you can put your little $5,000 in here in this development, or you can put $2,000 or whatever it is you put in. When you invest that money, you would be able to have a return in the range of 5 to 7%, depends on how long you put it in, rather than having the money in the bank and attracting what you're attracting. So you have a piece of the pie, so to speak, that you have here. The second way is that we have allowed and encouraging many locals to put little shops in here, so that when 1 million passengers pass through here, something will remain in your shop. And when you have 1 million passengers, and even 10% of those come into your shop, or even 2%, that's a big number that you can have come into your shop in a day. And if you can get them to buy something, it benefits you. So the local people will benefit quite a bit. Besides the small shops, we're going to have on the waterfront side some what we call some kiosks, where, you know, when you go into shopping malls in the United States, you have those little kiosks in the middle of the shopping mall where they encourage you to buy something. You're going to have that type of kiosk where locals can either have, maybe you might want to sell coconut water. Maybe you might be able to sell some little thing that you've made here or do here, and in those kiosks, and you can make some money. You have the numbers of people passing through, so a small percentage, even though it might be who might buy from you, will help your business.
10 down, 20 more to go.
Action speaks.